necesitas sacar tu paquete de gramática porque vas a tomar apuntes sobre los verbos saber y conocer. Esto es un repaso. Hopefully, this will be a review for you. So we have learned about the verbs saber and conocer ever since Spanish 1. We know that they both mean to know, but they have very different uses. The verbs saber and conocer take on a different meaning when used in the preterite. So that's very important to us during this chapter when we're focusing on the preterite, especially the irregular forms. Let's review really quickly when we use the verb saber. We are going to use saber when we know a fact or to know something, like knowing how to swim or knowing how to scuba dive. Let's review when we use conocer as well. We are going to use the verb conocer when we know a person or are familiar with a person, place, or thing. For instance, since I grew up in St. Louis, I am very familiar with the city. Saber in the preterite takes on a new meaning. It now means found out. Here is an example of saber in the preterite used in a sentence. Hoy supe que vamos a pasar 2 semanas de vacaciones en la playa. Today I found out that we're going to spend 2 weeks of vacation at the beach. Conocer also takes on a new meaning in the preterite, and its new meaning is met. Here is an example of conocer used in the preterite in a sentence. El último día del viaje conocí a un surfista que se llama Santiago. The last day of the trip, I met a surfer named Santiago. Let's go ahead and review our conjugations of saber in the preterite. It is an irregular verb. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video at this time so you can see if you remember the conjugations of saber in the preterite on your own, and then we will review them together. Okay, vamos a checar las conjugaciones del verbo saber. Yo supe, tú supiste, él, ella, usted supo, nosotros, nosotras supimos, ellos, ellas, ustedes supieron. Did you remember those conjugations? Muy bien. Also, let's review the conjugations of conocer in the preterite. Go ahead and pause the video one more time and see if you can remember how to conjugate conocer in the preterite, and then we'll check our conjugations together. Ok, vamos a checar las conjugaciones del verbo conocer en el pretérito. Yo conocí, tú conociste, él, ella, usted conoció, nosotros, nosotras conocimos, ellos, ellas, ustedes conocieron. Were those the conjugations you got as well? Muy bien. So, just to review, some verbs have changes in meaning when they are conjugated in the preterite versus the present tense. This is because the preterite past tense handles completed actions, which makes sense because if it's in the past, it's over and done with. Therefore, it has to somehow make the verb's present tense meaning into an event. So, you can see right here the difference between conocer in the present tense, which is the green column, and the preterite tense, which is the yellow column. The present tense of the yo form of conocer, conozco, means I know someone or some place. The preterite tense of conocer, conocí, means I met someone for the first time. We also have the example of saber. In green, which is the present tense, we have sé, the yo form of saber. It's irregular. I know a fact. And then we have supe in yellow, the preterite yo form. I found out or discovered something. So we can see that there's a major difference in what conocer and saber mean in the preterite. Ahora vamos a practicar un poco con saber y conocer en el pretérito. Tú necesitas traducir las oraciones a español. Go ahead and translate these sentences into Spanish. Pause the video so you give yourself as much time as you need to do this activity, and then when you have finished translating all 8 sentences, go ahead and hit play so we can check our answers together. Ok, muy bien. Ahora vamos a checar nuestras oraciones en español. I never met my great-grandfather. Yo nunca conocí a mi bisabuelo. Did you find out the secret yesterday? ¿Tú supiste el secreto ayer? We met the new teacher last Monday. Nosotros conocimos al nuevo maestro el lunes pasado. Carlos found out that his girlfriend went to Javier's house. Carlos supo que su novia fue a la casa de Javier. Remember, you never do apostrophe S in Spanish. Never, ever, ever. My father met my new boyfriend last night. Mi padre conoció a mi nuevo novio anoche. They found out the news the day before yesterday. Ellos supieron la noticia anteayer. You all met my mother-in-law? ¿Ustedes conocieron a mi suegra? I found out the truth yesterday. Yo supe la verdad ayer. Were those the same oraciones en español that you got? Muy bien. Vamos a practicar un poco más. Aquí tengo un párrafo. Después del primer día de la escuela, el padre de Pablo le hizo muchas preguntas. Tú necesitas completar el diálogo con la forma correcta de saber o conocer en el pretérito. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video at this time so you can complete the paragraph. Bueno, muy bien. Ahora vamos a checar nuestras respuestas del párrafo. Pablo, ¿qué tal estuvo el primer día de la escuela? ¿Conociste a algún nuevo maestro? Mis compañeros y yo conocimos al nuevo profesor de historia, pero no supimos por qué señor García se fue de la escuela. ¿Tú no supiste nada? Pues yo supe que él conoció a una mujer muy bonita. Bueno, ¿y tus amigos Daniel y María conocieron al nuevo maestro de historia también? Ya te dije que toda la escuela conoció al nuevo maestro de historia. Were those the conjugaciones de saber y conocer that you got as well? Muy bien. Hopefully, you now feel more comfortable using saber y conocer en el pretérito.